Hi, good evening, and a warm welcome to all the participants in today's webinar. We'll just give a couple of minutes to all the participants to join in and settle down, and then we'll get started with today's session. So, as I mentioned, we'll be waiting for a few minutes, but we will use this time to firstly understand how you can benefit the most from this webinar. And I'll also give you a brief introduction about myself. So, firstly, about how you can benefit the most from this webinar. So, when we start the webinar, we'll get into a screen share. So, that's where sometimes people have challenges in seeing the screen. So, there are a few things that I would want to share with you that you can do in case, God forbid, you also face such challenge wherein you are not able to view the screen. One of the common reasons which I've seen, and this typically happens with the participants who are joining through their mobile devices. So, in case you are joining through your mobile device, and when I start the screen share, that's where you're not able to see the screen. So, you're seeing a wide screen, or the screen is appearing very tiny, it is appearing very small. So, in that case, what should you do to fix that issue? So one thing that you can do is you can just turn your device around. So instead of holding it in a portrait mode, so instead of holding it like this, you can turn it around, and that should fix the issue. If it does not fix the issue, then you can log out of the meeting, join back again, and also ensure that you are on the updated or the latest version of Zoom application on your smartphone. So that should fix the issue. Now, we will be taking you through or sharing a lot of information with you. And obviously, you will have your own doubts, your own points, your own questions that you would want to get clarified on. Now, how can you ask those questions? How can you seek a response from me or Pratik, who's also joining us here? Welcome, Pratik, to this session. So, how can you seek a response? How you can solicit a response from us? So, to get answers to any of your questions or queries that you may have, so down below you'll see there's an option. So somewhere there you'll see there's an option which says Q&A. So you can click on that and you can use that to ask your question. Now, we will also be interacting, or we'll also be doing a little bit of interaction amongst ourselves. I'll also try to seek your inputs or what is your thought on certain matters. So for that, we will be using the chat. So there is again down below, there's a chat option. So we'll use that for interacting amongst us. And you can also use chat for sharing about your business with other wonderful business owners who are also joining us here today. So you can also use the chat feature for that. Now, let's begin. So I'll start with giving a brief introduction about myself, and then I'll request Mr. Pratik, who is a FIO official, who is also joining us here today. So my name is Adnan. I'm Director SME E-commerce Growth at Global Inker, and my functional or my focus area at Global Inker is digital commerce. In addition to my role at Global Inker in terms of the technical role, I also actively work on sharing knowledge or information with business owners like you on how you can use digital and technology to grow your business. And so far, I have done more than 450 such sessions in various countries, and had the opportunity to interact with more than 12,000 businesses in various countries. And I am a big believer of this philosophy that in today's day and age, thankfully, technology is evolving at such a rapid pace that technology is no longer a challenge, right? So the availability of technology is no longer a challenge, but how you can use that technology, knowing how to use the technology is a challenge. And that's where I try to contribute whatever is possible. All right, so this is where I'll request Mr. Pratik, who's also joining us here today. He's a FIO official. So, Pratik ji, if you can share a introduction about yourself, and also share with the audience that is joining us here today about Indian Business Portal.
Yeah, thanks, Adnan. Good evening to everyone. My name is Pratik Navle, and I look after the Indian Trade Portal and Indian Business Portal at FIO. And let me tell you that both the digital platforms, FIO has developed to basically educate the exporters, making them entering into the export business. So, in the Indian Business Portal, The objective was very clear to give them every exporters a digital visibility about their product. So exporters come forward, they can create their own digital stores, showcase their business to the globally. And I think most of the sellers have connected us. They're expecting few to connect them with the some good buyers abroad, and we are most successful while basically connecting with the foreign buyers. Currently, we are basically getting a lot of inquiries related to the consumer products also on Indian Business Portal. And I think now I request my colleague Adnan to quickly take us through with the Indian Trade Portal about how to connect with the foreign buyers. And maybe we would like to interact with all the participants about the queries regarding the buyer, that if you have any queries regarding that, any compliances while exporting to that particular country, you have any issues regarding the duties which is applicable on your product, if you are already in conversations with any one of our buyer and you would like to share the feedback about that buyer, uh, we would like to hear from you. We also got a lot of feedback from our buyers about our exporters that we would like to share with you. And I think quickly, Adnan, take all of us to the Indian Business Portal. Uh, Please show us that, okay, how we can connect to those foreign buyers. Then we will deep dive into the questions.
Absolutely. So, without spending any more time, I am going to start sharing my screen. I was reading in the chat that there was one member who was pointing out that the volume is a little low. So, I just wanted to cross check. Are you guys able to hear us properly? Any issues with the audio? Because I can see on the audio meter it is appearing. So I can see the audio is working fine. All right, so audio seems to be working fine. All good. So this where let's get started. So I'm going to start sharing my screen. Just give me few seconds to do that. All right. And as I mentioned earlier, if you face any issue, I have shared with you how you can fix the issue in case screen share is not visible or it is appearing too small. All right. So this is where we will begin. Now, as Prateek mentioned, we will straight away jump into the main topic or of discussion here. And obviously, I can understand that many of you also want to understand how to join Indian Business Portal. So that is something that I'll be taking up towards the later part of the session. And that's a very simple and easy process. There's a lot of tutorial content also available. So we'll go there. But more importantly, the first topic or the first item that we are going to discuss here is about how Indian exporters like you are connecting with foreign buyers on Indian Business Portal. All right. So what you are seeing on your screen, and I hope everyone can also see my screen. If few of the participants can confirm that you can see my screen. I can see there's one comment in the chat. I have chat open alongside. So I can see there's one comment in the chat about the screen quality. So screen quality may get affected in case the internet connection is low at your end. Mine is mine is working fine, so there should not be an issue at my end. All right. So now coming to the main point. So how can a international buyer or how Indian exporters like you are connecting with international buyers? So there are two broad processes which are there on Indian Business Portal. I'll firstly explain the RFQ process, and then we'll understand about the direct interaction process. So the first process that we are going to discuss is the RFQ or request for quotation process. So this is where an international buyer is requesting for quotations. So they are sharing their requirements and then they are requesting for quotation that this is what my requirement is. And if you are an exporter who supplies this product, then share your quotation. So that's the RFQ process. Now, where are those RFQs visible? That must be an obvious question coming to your head. So that's where visit Indian Business Portal, and if you scroll down, this is where you'll see buyers looking for, and this is where if we click on view all, it will take us to the detailed RFQ section. So this where you can see the various RFQs are there. So there are closed and they're open. So here you can see there's a circuit breaker requirement from Australia, and there's a cotton towels requirement for Germany. From time to time, these new leads keep adding an international buyers, and they can easily come here and they can post the buying requirement and they'll start appearing here, right? So this is where international buyers are coming and they are submitting their buying requirement, right? So this is where these requirements are visible. Now, if you happen to be, so for example, if you happen to be a cotton towel manufacturer and exporter, so you can come here and you can click here, and it will take you to another form. And this is where you have to, firstly, you'll get an understanding in terms of what their requirement is, and then you have to provide information which is required in this form. And again, it is very simple information that you are required to fill. So, for example, email ID, company name, mobile number, then your IC code, and then you have to specify whether you're a manufacturer or an merchant, and then you have to upload your IC code. And if you are a FIO or a member of any export promotion council or commodity board, then you can upload the RCMC certificate. And then do you have an e-store on Indian Business Portal? So if you have already created your digital catalog and you are already listed on Indian Business Portal, you can also put in the link here, and then you have to specify your experience here, right? Now this is where I will also request Prateek to add on, and this is where one of the suggestions which was shared earlier related to this point is when you are answering this point, that what is your experience for a particular product type. So this where instead of just typing yes I have experience like that, you should also add inputs to it, like I had been dealing in this product category for X number of years, and I have this production capability, etc., etc. So whatever add value. So understand the international buyer is looking at all these uh, quotation requests which are coming, or all these requisitions which are coming from your side, right? So they have to evaluate and make a decision. Now, if you're not providing information from your side, that makes their job also difficult and reduces your chances, right? So your probability or your chance of getting a response back from the buyer also reduces. Yes, Pratik, if you would want to add something to this particular point.
No, absolutely correct, Adnan, that whatever the information, the more information will provide, there are more chances to get connected, highlighted with buyer. But here, I would like to also inform the sellers that not to fill this form again and again, because we are sharing this information real time with the foreign buyer, and he, if he's getting a multiple request of that, he feels an irritated. So I think once you feel, you get the message on the screen only that your request has been submitted, and that basically given to the buyer. Now, whoever is submitting that information, before submitting that information, please ensure that your website is working. Your email ID is not filled, let's say full with due to an overcapacity. So whatever the information you are providing, it should, we have seen that there are some submissions given by the exporters, and when we go through with their website, that website's domain has been not renewed, or it's not working, or it is incomplete. So ultimately it is giving the bad impressions to your buyer, and simply we are working on that algorithm to basically classify that which are the competitive stores or competitive exporters, to share those details on priority with that buyer. So whoever is submitting an information, please ensure whatever the information you're providing, it is up to that. If you wanted to connect them for your product, just take that hyperlink and put it over there. So he will complete directly visit to the product list. Some people are giving the contact details list, that hyperlink. Some people are giving a about story about that, but they are not interested. So that's what I'm saying. If you wanted to have that particular information, give us particular info for product or certification, whichever you want to highlight, please do that. Over to you,
Absolutely.
Aman.
Absolutely, Pratik. Very valuable inputs coming from Pratik. He's very close to this action. So these were very important points that you should keep in mind. I can see there are a few points being added to the chat. So I'll request everyone that these questions, if you can add them to Q&A, because you can imagine in the chat there are so many responses coming. So there's a possibility that your question, which is very, very important for you, might get missed out. So it's a request to everyone that any question that you would want me or Pratik to answer, you can add that to Q&A. All right. So this is how easy it is to fill up the form, but just keep those considerations in mind when you're responding to the inquiries. Right. So this is where you'll submit the requisition and then the international buyer will review and they will connect back with you and you'll take the discussion forward. You'll take the transaction forward. Now, the second flow or the second way in which an international buyer can connect with you is they can directly connect with you. And how does that happen? So just imagine that I am an international buyer and I'm coming to Indian Business Portal. So this is where I can come and I can review the various products which are listed by Indian exporters. Now, obviously, it is not like I'm not doing a personal shopping. So I'll not be just leisurely going through the website and then seeing whatever is of interest. I'm a business professional, so I'll be having a very specific requirement that I want to buy these products or want to import these products. So in that case, if I want to search, and a very common practice by international buyers when they are looking for products is to search by HS code. So here you can see on Indian Business Portal, those finer details related to the export business are taken into consideration, and this is where there's a provision to search by HS code. So they can search by HS code and they can see which all exporters are there that are dealing in those kind of product, and then they can identify those, or I can go through navigation as well. Now this is where again it is a very broad navigation consisting of more than 4,500 categories and subcategories representing broadly the entire spectrum of products or services which are being exported by Indian exporters, right? So this is where I can review the products. So this is where you can see I can review any of the products and then I can decide on connecting with Indian exporters. What I've done is I've opened few of the profiles here just to show you. So this is where we have a profile by an exporter called Ayan Naturals. Now, we'll use this profile to understand the later half of that question is one that I have identified this exporter that I'm looking for these products and this looks like an exporter. Now, how will I connect with you, right? So just imagine I'm an international buyer and an importer. I have to connect with you. What are the options available to me? Before I decide on connecting, I may also want to review certain things to build that confidence in me, right? So that's where, firstly, I can review the entire catalog here. So this is where you can see all the products are listed here. So I can review them. And then there is a about section also. So this is where I can come and again read information about that business and understand more. And if I want, I can also visit their websites. I can click on visit website and I can go to their digital catalog and I can review those. Now, coming to the point that how will they connect with you? How will an international buyer, if they have decided that this is the exporter from India and we should consider them, we should discuss with them, we want to import their products or we are interested to import their products. So in that case, how will they connect with you? One of the very popular feature which is available on Indian Business Portal is request meeting. So this is where similar to how we are connecting here today through digitally through Zoom or any other platform. So in the similar fashion, they will also be able to connect with you. They'll be able to have an online interaction with you, and they'll be able to share with you what are your requirements, what are their requirements, and then you can also share with them. About your business and how you can take the discussion forward. So this is one method which is available, not the only method. The other method is contact seller, which is again very obvious. It is dead there on your screen. So again, they can review, they can connect with you using contact seller. Now, in case of contact seller, how will you know that someone has contacted you? So you will get a email on your email ID or your registered email ID, as we call it. So the email ID that you have associated with your accounts, on that email ID, you'll get an email that this is the business that is interested to connect with you. And you will also be creating a digital catalog. You'll also be creating a website. And on the control panel of that website, you will also get a listing of this inquiry which you are receiving. And the third is obviously they can visit your online store, and that's where if you have listed your contact details, they can review and connect with you. All right. So this is the other method which is available for a international buyer when it comes to connecting with you. I'll also quickly show you other profiles. Now here you can see the registered FIO member is mentioned. So if you are a registered FIO member, this emblem is displayed, and there is also an option to show your licenses. So for example, this business has displayed their IC. If we are coming here, this is where they have displayed their ISO certificates. So there's no limit. If you have multiple certificates, you should display them. Now, how does that help? It helps in boosting the confidence of an international buyer, because understand, they are sitting thousands of kilometers away from you, and they are not sure whether it is a genuine company or not. Now digitally you have to make that person believe that, hey, we are a genuine company, we are capable of supplying the products that you're looking at. How do you do that? So that's where obviously you have added the information, you have added the product information, the business related information, you have added all that beautifully. You have created a beautiful and nice looking digital catalog, a nice looking website for yourself, and that is linked with your profile. You have done all that, but still there will be some amount of doubt which will be there. How do you take care of that? So that's where these comes in very strongly. So these are certificates or awards or recognitions that you may have. You can add all that, and that will help in making the international buyer confident about your business, and then they can confidently connect with you and they can do business with you. All right. So that was the second flow which is available for international buyers to connect with you. Now, this is where I'm very quickly going to switch my screen and I'll take you to a presentation. And before we obviously have to also discuss, or I also have to share with you how you can join Indian Business Portal. But before that, let me quickly take you to a presentation, and I'm not going to bore you with the number of slides. So it is only one slide that I'll be taking you through. And this is where I want to show you the entire ecosystem which is there and how you can leverage that, how you can use it to grow your export business. So this is your business, and to join Indian Business Portal, what you'll be doing is you will be creating something called digital catalog, a website you'll be creating. Now that website will get linked, or that digital catalog will get linked with Indian Business Portal. Wonderful. This is the joining process, and we'll be understanding in detail the entire step-by-step process in few minutes. But broadly, this is the process. Now, coming back to the point that I wanted to show you the entire ecosystem and how it can help your export business, right? So that's where FIO will put in efforts to bring international buyers onto the platform, right? So this is where you can see FIO will put in effort and international buyers will come to Indian Business Portal. And that's where you have your own business listing, you have your product listing, and international buyers will be able to do business with you using the two broad methods. Either they will connect with you directly or they'll submit for RFQ and you will submit the quotations, right? So those are the two, that's the action happening on Indian Business Portal. Now coming to your own website, so that's where you can also, because now you have your own website, so that's where you can do your own promotional effort, you can do your own effort, and that is where you can approach international buyers and bring them onto your own platform. Obviously, when you are spending, you are putting in an effort, so you'll be bringing them to your own website, and that's where you can do business with you. You can generate leads and inquiries or orders in case you are into B2C business, so you can do all that. Now there is a third area of opportunity which is also there. Now, when you're joining this or when you're going through this process, let me highlight that for you. So, when you're going through this process, when you are creating your digital catalog and it is getting linked, you are also becoming part of a community, a business community which has members from more than 150 countries. So, you can also do business networking with them, similar to how we do professional networking on LinkedIn or social networking on Facebook. Similar to that, this is where you'll be doing business networking. So you'll be connecting with another business owner. So business owner connecting with another business owner, that's where you have business networking. So through business networking, you can also connect with international buyers, and you can grow your business from there as well, right? So this is the entire ecosystem in front of you on a slide, and highlighting the various areas of opportunities which are there for you to leverage. All right, so this is something I believe should give you a better clarity, because many times when I was interacting with exporters like you, so they were able to understand it in bits and pieces, but they were not able to look at the bigger picture. So I just sort of taking you through this slide. So it should give you a bigger picture, or it should give you a bird's eye perspective of the entire ecosystem, and also identify the areas of opportunity that you would like to leverage. All right. So this is where now let's close this presentation and let's go back. Let me hide this, otherwise it will keep obstructing your view. So let's go back to Indian Business Portal, and very, very quickly, we are going to understand how you can join Indian Business Portal, because I can imagine many of you are not yet there on Indian Business Portal. So I'll not take much of your time. I'll very quickly walk you through the process. So this is where the very first thing that you have to do, in case you are not still there on Indian Business Portal, is to open Indian Business Portal, or let me say it again. So if you want to list your business, if you want to start showcasing your product or service offerings on Indian Business Portal, then the very first thing that you have to do is to open Indian Business Portal's website, and then you'll see this option, register on in register as Indian exporter, sell on Indian Business Portal. This is the option which I'm referring to. So you click on that, which will open a page. Let me click on that, and which will open this page. On this page, obviously, you all will be tempted to click on this blue button which says create your catalog. And you have already heard that you have to create your digital catalog. So you'll all be tempted to do that. But I'll urge you, I'll request you not to do that, at least for a few minutes, and just scroll down on this page. So what you have to do is, I'm just repeating that again. So you have to open Indian Business Portal, click on register as Indian exporter. This page opens up. Now here, scroll down and until you start seeing this section, frequently asked questions section. So until you start seeing this section, keep scrolling down. And on this section, the first question is, how do I link my business? So just expand it. In case it is appearing in a collapse state, click on this plus sign. It will expand, it will become bigger. And that's where you'll see the step-by-step process. I don't intend to ask you to read the steps. It is up to you if you want to read, but you have to click on this option. So what I'm requesting you to do is to click on this option, tutorial video. You can see we have highlighted that in blue color for your reference. So just click on that, and it will open a YouTube video. So you can review the video. So the entire journey is captured in detail in this video. Now, why am I urging you or requesting you to open this video? Because if you get stuck at any point, you'll need assistance. Now, this is the quickest assistance and the most efficient one which is available, right? So many times when people call us on our help desk, that's where we redirect them to the same resource, right? So this is something which is readily available. And I'll also request you that if you don't have paucity of time, then you can review this video. So it is a little longer video, something 20-25 minutes, but it will give you a great understanding in terms of the process and what all information will be required from your side, so that you can keep all that ready and then you can get started with the process. So that will be a lot easier for you to do. All right. Now, we'll use this video. So very quickly, I'll just walk you through the entire process. We'll definitely not be playing this video because that will not be a very wise use of your time. So this is the first step, which I've already explained, that you have to open Indian Business Portal and then click on register as Indian exporter on this page. This is the page where we have opened the video. So after opening the video, you can click on create your catalog, which will take you to this screen. Input your name, email ID, create a password, then do a OTP verification, input your GST number, and then you have to add your company name, legal entity type, your location, then industry. You have to select specify which industry do you belong. After that, you have to specify which type of business operations you are involved in. So if you are a manufacturer and exporter, you can select both of them, or you have to select all the relevant fields depending on what all business activities you are involved in. Then click on convert now. Answer three simple questions, and then you have to select a suitable design team. Now, at this stage, I'll just take 1 minute of yours to answer a few of the common questions which are there. And a lot of time people get a little confused at this stage. So I'll try to answer those. One of the common question or concern that a lot of people have is that what if we have chosen a particular design template? So, for example, I've chosen this one, right? This orange one, I've chosen that. And after some time, I realized that it is not showing my product or my services in a very nice manner. So it is like not doing the justice. So can I change that? So a lot of people have this doubt in their mind. The answer is absolutely yes. You'll be able to change. And in fact, you'll not believe you'll be able to change within 5 seconds, right? So within 5 seconds, you'll be able to change from one design template to another design template. Although practically you have to upload banners and do a little bit of color customization to suit your business requirements, so it practically takes a little longer, but technically from one template to another template you'll be able to switch in about 5 seconds, right? So that's where, don't be worried, right? So if you're selecting something, you don't like it tomorrow, you can change it. You can change it very, very easily. All right. Now, uh, another myth, I would say, or a misunderstanding that many people have, or I'll not say all of them, all of the exporters that we have interacted or who have reached out to us on the help desk. But many exporters also get this misconception or misunderstanding that a particular design template is suitable for a particular type of product. So, for example, this is where you can see this. I'm not sure how big it is on your screen and how much it is visible, but this is where you can see there are cosmetic products. Or if you are looking at these templates, they have examples of electronic items like smartphone, tablets, etc. So they get a feeling that if I am a seller in smartphones on tablet, then I can use this one. And if I'm someone who's into industrial products or agri products, I can't use that. But the answer is any of the theme can be used for any type of business, right? So this is where, again, don't be worried that I'm in this kind of business and there's no template for that. These products which are you are seeing in these visuals, they are only for example purpose. They are only for representation purpose, right? So don't get confused with that hey, I deal in this product and there's no example for that, though there's no template for that. These are only examples. So any theme, any design template can be used by any business, right? So there's no limitation as such for that. All right. So that was point or concern or confusion number two. The third one is something which is uh, faced by most of us, including myself, but many times we are not able to realize that. Why so? And that's a very interesting thing. And so I'll explain the challenge. So the challenge is, or the problem is that we have so many nice options in front of us. How do we choose? Like many of us, including myself, we're not extremely creative people. So just looking at these visuals, we can't decide which one is suitable for our business, right? So that's where many of us face this challenge, right? How do we decide which template should we use, right? So every one of them is looking nice. This is 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 nice. This one is also looking nice. How do we decide, right? Say a problem of plenty sometimes people face. So how do you go through it? Obviously, you always have that challenge. We used that process we used to use in our school and college days. Close your eyes and put the finger whichever one you have chosen. You can decide that. But there's a systematic process also available, and that is go through this journey, which is detailed out in this video. Add few of your product or services, I'm not asking or suggesting all of them, but two, three of them. Just upload them, and real ones, not hypothetical ones, real ones, actual ones. And then go to the theme section, apply a theme, see how that theme is showing your products. Then apply the second one, then apply the third one, then apply the fourth one, right? So apply and see, apply and review. And that should help you pinpoint or with precision identify which is the theme that is showcasing your product or services in the most beautiful manner. And that is the theme that you have to choose, right? So that is a process you can consider using in case you're also having this confusion that which theme should I choose. All right. So this is this stage. Again, coming back to the process, you have to just select a design template, and that will take you to this screen. This is where it has just two input fields. The first one is your business name. You can just review that it is pre-populated, but in case you want to make any changes to it, if there is a spelling mistake, etc., you can correct that. And then you have store URL. Now, store URL may be in this shape where you have a code, or it may be entirely blank. Now, whatever the case may be, you have to put in a URL. Now, this is where again we'll spend 1 or 2 minutes here to understand this concept, because this is again something which confuses a lot of people. So, firstly, what is a URL? So, URL is something that we use to open a website. So, for example, if you have to open Google, what do we type? Google.com, right? Or if you have to open Indian Business Portal, we type Indian Business Portal dot in, and that is the URL of the website. Now, what are we trying to do here is we are trying to specify that what should one user type to open your website. So that's so what we have to specify here. Now, this is where many people get confused with this part, linker.store. What is this linker.store? So linker.store is our subdomain that we are providing to you absolutely free of cost, and you can use it for as long period as you want. That leads to another question or doubt in the mind. Why are we doing that? So there is a very strong and powerful reason, and that is to make this journey as convenient as possible. Now, imagine that most of us don't create websites on a day-to-day basis, right? So it's not our bread and butter. We don't do that unless you are into website development. It is one of things that you're doing, and a lot of us perceive that it is a fairly technical job, right? Now, when you're doing something that you think is technical and you have a feeling that I may not be qualified or skilled enough to do it properly. So that's where you're already little stressed. Now, if we asked you to point your domain onto our server or to implement an SSL, that would have been absolutely overwhelming or nerve wracking, and you would have dropped off and you would not have experienced the benefit of the digital world. And we don't want that to happen. So that's where we have created this process as convenient as possible. And whenever you are feeling confident, that's where you can take it live on your own domain. Although I've answered that question, but I'll answer that explicitly. A lot of people ask me that can we use our own domain for this website that we are making? Yes, certainly you can do that. You can use your own domain, but do that once it is ready, not at this stage. Once it is ready, you can do that, or you should do that. All right. So this stage will click on create store, and that will almost complete the process. There's one more thing that you have to do, and that is to upload at least one product. You can upload it using the system interface, or you can do it in bulk. So if you have to upload many products, and you don't want to spend your valuable time and energy in uploading one product at a time, you can upload them in bulk also. Now, all the entire product upload process is explained in detail, so we'll not be spending your valuable time there. But there are two important points that I would want to clarify. The first one is about GI product. A lot of people curiously ask us, what are these GI products? So GI products are geographic indication. So these are the specialty products of a particular location. So I'll quickly take you back to Indian Business Portal, and this is where you can see GI products. The first navigation element is GI products, and these are geographical indication of India. And these can be across multiple categories. Now, for example, Varanasi is popular for Banarsi sarees. In addition to that, there are a number of other GIs also that I'll just quickly show you. So, for example, wooden lacquer toys is also a very popular GI product. So, these are the products which are manufactured there, or they are popularity or specialty of that. Nagpur oranges, for example, is a GI product. Now, this where we can see this is a exporter of GI products, and we can review their profile and or sorry, I didn't wanted to take you there. I wanted to show you the GI emblem. So let me just open the product page. So this is the product page. So this is where you can see the GI emblem is here, and here also there is a vanilla lacquer toy from Varanasi. So if you are someone who is dealing in a GI product, then you should specify that this product is a GI product. You can take that, and then you can specify the GI category and subcategory. So here you have GI category. So whether the product is a agriculture product, a food stuff, or a handicraft or manufacturing, etc., and then you have to select the GI subcategory, and then you have to upload the GI certificate as well. Yes, without uploading the certificate, you cannot specify your product as a GI product. That is a mandatory thing that you have to do if you want to specify your product as GI product. Now, in case you're not dealing in a GI product, just don't tick on that, or just don't do any changes. And then you have category and subcategory. That is the second point I would want to clarify, because that confuses a lot of people. So what is this category and subcategory? A lot of people confuse it with the navigation which is there on a website. So navigation is a front end element. It is a totally different functionality. These drop downs which you are seeing here, this is where what you are doing is you are giving instructions to the system that display my products in this category and this subcategory. I can imagine you may be getting confused. So let's go back to Indian Business Portal. And here, you can see we have various categories and subcategories. Here, you can see where when I'm hovering my cursor, right? So this is what I'm referring to. These are called navigation. Now, how does the system know that where does it has to show your product, right? That is where this capability comes into play. So this is where, as a seller, you are giving instructions to the system that please display my products in this category and this subcategory. For example, if you are a women dress manufacturer, so you can select fashion apparel and women dress, and it will show the product in the relevant category. That is what you are expected to do here. The front end navigation is a totally separate process. There's a detailed content available, tutorial content also available with that on our YouTube channel. So if you are getting confused, you can reach out to us and we'll be able to guide you with that. All right. So we'll fast forward the video because the rest of the product upload process is explained in the video in great detail. So we'll not take or spend your valuable time there. And we will just quickly move on to the end part where the product is uploaded. Now, once you have uploaded the product, you have to go to the home section. For that, you have to click on this home shaped icon, which is there on the top of navigation, and which will bring you here. This is where you can click on publish and the store gets created. So this is where your journey of creating your digital catalog is completed, but your job is not yet over. So I'll now show you what are the other things that you have to do. So for that, we will quickly switch the tab and we will go to this account. This is a demonstration account that I have on the live environment. This is the actual live environment. This is something which you will also be getting. Now coming back to the digital catalog completion. So you have to gone through that process. You have uploaded one product. Now the immediate next thing that you have to do is to upload the remaining products that you have. So far, you have just uploaded one of them. So you have to go to the product section. You can upload them one at a time, or you can upload them in bulk if you want. So both the things are possible and available. So you can do that. Once you have done that, then you can go to store settings and store details. And that's where you have about your export. So you can fill in the information. Now, this information is displayed where? On your profile. So if I take you here, so about your export, this is where it is displayed. So extremely crucial because if you're not adding this information, the international buyers will not feel confident enough to connect with you. So that's where it is extremely important that you should add this information. And again, it is not like a very complex information or something which you may not have, and you'll have to arrange this all, which should be readily available with you. All right. So your IC code and your legal entity type, when did you started your business, what type of business you are engaged in, whether you're a manufacturer or merchant, are you MSME or not, export turnover for previous years, countries you have already exported to, countries you would like to export to, countries you have already exported to. In case you haven't exported, you can leave it blank. number of employees, the license and the certificate, which is extremely important, then advantages or innovation, right? So you have to tell why should someone do business with you. And lastly, you have to specify what type of proposals you will be interested in. So you can select all that and then click on save. So this is the second activity that you have to do. After that, you can go to my store, and that's where you can implement the theme or the theme related activity that I was recommending that you can do that and set up the navigation from here, and then you can upload the banners using the store preview. Once you are done, or once you uh, feel confident that now I have done everything, and now let me list my business on Indian Business Portal, you have to come to the home section, and this is where I will request everyone, please understand this with a little attention, because this is something which very very commonly we get on our help desk, that people ask us that, hey, we have put in so much effort in creating our digital calendar, we have done everything, why our business is not there on Indian Business Portal? And we ask, then have you submitted the request? And they haven't done that. So please do ensure that you are also doing this step. So how do you do that? So you have to come here, you have to click on this home shaped icon, which will open the home section of the control panel or the seller panel of your digital catalog. And here you have to scroll down. This is where you'll see link your store and sell on Indian Business Portal. You have to click on send request, and which will open this overlay. Now this overlay or pop-up has two parts. One is this side. This is where you'll see the online store name. So do's and don'ts are written. Now, here again, I'll request that you should watch this video. This video will help you understand what are the mistakes which can prevent your business from being showcased on Indian Business Portal. What are those mistakes and how you can fix them? That is also explained in this video. So you should review this video, and then you have these details. So the top three fields will be pre-populated. The bottom one is you have to agree to the terms, and then you have to click on submit. Now once you click on submit, that's where the request goes to the operations team to review your business. Yes, there is a human review that happens, and they'll review against all these parameters which are listed here, and if everything is okay, your business will get approved, and your product or services will start appearing on Indian Business Portal. And if there is an issue, or if they have noticed that your store has some shortcoming, and you'll get a response back with a proper comment that this is the issue why your business is getting rejected, right? So you'll get a response as well, and it typically takes around 2 working days. All right. So this was the process. Now, as we are on the screen, let me also show you, because many times in my previous webinars, people have asked us about that community aspect. So this is the community side of FIO Global Inker. So this is where you can come and you can interact or connect with business owners from 150 countries. So you may be finding the layout very familiar. So this is where you can come and you can do a post. You can see many businesses have posted about their business, what they are offering, and you can do the same. There are groups which are available, interest-based or industry-based groups. You can participate in those groups. And in addition to that, if you want to actively look out, in that case, you can either use the search or you can use the sorry, I have a bad throat, so please bear with me. So you can use the add connections interface, and this is where you can come and you can search for suppliers or buyers from for a particular kind of product or in a particular industry. Right, so you can come here and you can do the review, and you can connect with them, or you can connect with them uh, through the search also, right? So if you are searching for a particular type of product, you can do that as well. All right. So this is all from my side in today's webinar. I'll stop sharing my screen, and we will break into the question answer round. So very quickly, let me open the Q&A, and we'll begin the questions. In case there's anything which is not clear to you and you would want to get a clarification from us, please do feel free to add that in Q&A. Pratik, the very first question that I can see is there's no space or option for filling price quotations in the form, in the RFQ forms he's referring to.
So price and quotations, whoever is a buyer is basically connecting to us. They are not basically asking for any price, or neither they're basically sharing their target price. So it is more of a connecting to them. And if any, let's say, if anybody has a valid point to that, if you can explain that, definitely we would like to add that to RF.
Absolutely. So I have also added my contact details in the chat. I've also chatted the links of tutorial video. The same video which I walked you through is also available in Hindi. So I've added the links of both the videos also in the chat. Uh, Next question is from Ruchir Shah. Screen you are showing is different from what we get on the homepage. So Ruchir ji, I'm not able to understand, and I feel it will need a little bit more time to understand your question. So this where what I'll request you, if you can drop me an email. I'm sharing my email ID also with you through a personal message. So if you can drop me an email with the concern or a screenshot of what screen you're seeing, then I can probably guide you. Next question is from Mr. Sandeep. Yes, Sandeep. So this is where he's suggesting about the filter. Yes, that is underway. The development is underway. You will have that feature. And there are certainly products of leather finish products. Some of them I personally know are there on the platform. Next question is from Mr. Rajesh, and I'm guessing you wanted to ask, is there any requirement for agriculture machinery from international buyers? So some time back, I saw there was a requirement for tractors, right, Prateek? So from time to
Yes,
time, there are
that
requirements
was
for,
from Kenya.
right. So there are requirements which are coming for almost every type of products which are there.
So ultimately, Adnan, I would like to also highlight here that whoever is an connecting on Indian Business Portal, they're having their store with Pio Global Linker or Indian Business Portal. They can also basically promote their services, promote their e-store with, let's say, doing some SEO, digital marketing, trying to connect, sharing those details with buyer. And there might be a possibility that buyer will directly connect to them instead of putting that information on our platform. There are some members I interact with them who basically do their SEOs, do their digital marketing for their store, and they are getting directly leads on their store rather than Indian Business Portal.
Absolutely. In fact, that was one of the opportunity. If you recall the presentation which I showed to you, so that is one of the activity which was highlighted there as well. And we strongly recommend that you should also do that. Next question is from Gagan. And Prateek, would you like to answer this? So his point is that if I'm a new exporter, that's where if and I don't have an experience, so that may become a negative point when I'm responding to a RFQ.
So now it is basically a very generic questions. It is change from buyer to buyer, seller to seller. But anytime when we are discussing with any of the new buyer, let us try to get impressed with our products quality, and quality is basically always defined by the certifications. And when you are basically submitting the quote, maybe whatever we have discussed, put it into that particular quotations as annexures or something, and you can share that. However, if he has any particular questions about where he try to give that, let's say, quotations to any buyer, I would like to connect him separately to understand what is his concern when he talking about a negative point. I'm dropping my email, so maybe they can
And
basically.
I think that question is asked by three consecutive participants. So Srinivas
Mhm,
also asked the same question, and Maria Hassan also asked the same question.
mhm.
Right. So this where I think all three of you can connect with Prateek and seek. He'll be guiding you. Next question. From Roshna Thomas wants to understand if there's a possibility that we can know that the buyer has viewed our inquiry. Now, I will answer that from the perspective of the solution, which is getting built, the future solution, which is getting implemented. So that is where, yes, you'll get a visibility on that, that your quotation has been seen. In the current version, Prateek, if you would want to comment on that.
Yeah, so currently, whatever the response basically shared by the seller through our platform, that is visible today. There are many exporters who are directly contacting to the foreign buyers also. Here, I just would like to highlight someone that if you are basically sharing your quotations or your email with any buyer, give them some time to revert on that. Today only we have gotten some complaint about an Indian sellers that the buyer is getting again and again repetitive emails from sellers asking that what happened, what is the development about that particular query. Now we need to think that the big organization or any organization, they take a time to review that particular supplier. However, if I give the example of, let's say, cotton bags, which we just published last time, and there are 100 plus sellers have shown the interest. Now buyer need a time to go through with that information and then revert. However, the suppliers are sending multiple emails to them to revert on that. So now we have got the request from that buyer that she is going to blocklist all those suppliers who are sending in multiple emails. So I have requested her to give them another chance, but she's getting irritated. She has also shared that Germany has a privacy law where these sellers are breaching that and selling in multiple emails. So I think we need to also respect the others' privacy while connecting to anyone, and that is what.
Absolutely, absolutely. Uh, so that was that. Next question from Srinivas. Is there an organization supporting us to build digital catalog? So I'll answer your question in two parts. One is if you want to do it yourself, yes, there is a lot of tutorial content available. Plus, I also conduct daily training workshops at 5:30 p.m. You can participate in those workshops and you can understand. Plus, if you go to YouTube and search for Global Inker, you'll find a lot of tutorial content on our YouTube channel as well, right? And there are thousands of such sellers who have used that content, used that information, and they were able to create very beautiful and functional catalogs for themselves. Yes, you can do that. Now, if you are someone who thinks that because of my busy schedule or positive time, I may not be able to do that, or even if I'm able to do that, I'll not be able to do that really nicely. So yes, there is a paid service also available, but use it only if you feel that I am not going to do that, because it is very easy and you'll be able to easily do that. But if you want to avail that paid service, yes, the service is available. You can drop me an email and I'll get you connected with the relevant member from our team, and they'll understand your requirement and they'll update you or share with you what will be the commercials or what will be the pricing. So I've also shared my email ID with you. You can drop me an email and I'll get you connected.
So, Adnan, there is one repetitive query from Ruchir Shah, and he has shared that there is a one HS code 3102100 is not listed on portal. So I think this HS code is not valid, which you have shared, because on Indian Trade Portal I just saw there are two different HS code which is belong to that particular HS code. So Mr. Ruchir, I would request if you can just go to Indian Trade Portal and check whether the valid HS code is 3102100 or the other two which I'm referring on Indian Trade Portal. If you still persist any issue, please drop an email. We will respond.
Sure. There's a question, a fairly long one. I was just reading that from Mr. Vishwanath Shetty. So he's having some issues with because of the language challenge. So he was requesting if FIO can assist him. So this where I think you can connect with Prateek over his email. He has
Yes,
already shared the
absolutely.
email. And
We will
he'll be
try
able
to
to.
connect Mr. Vishwanath with the Indian Embassy over there.
Sure. Next question, Anish KH. Update APEDA website. This is not clear. Anish, if you can also send me an email with your concern or a little more detail about your concern, I'll be able to help you with that. Uh, Next question is from Mr. Vishwanath again. Wants to understand about GI products. So, Prateek, would you like to answer that? GI products and their significance in international trade?
So GI products are basically an origin products, geographical indications product. For example, we are talking about an Alfonso mango, which let's say Vaigaon turmeric or Banarasi sari, which is belongs to a particular geographical area and which is basically produced either in some place which has a very specific taste, flavors, or essence, or if we talk about some non-agriculture product which is made by a proper community with their traditional way of doing that work. So for those products, GI is basically available. If you go to the registry of GI, there are 300 plus GI products from India. The list is there. And let's say if I talk about very specific in international trade, so these GI products are not mostly available in ample quantity. Anyone who are looking for working into the GI, my suggestion is that you promote these GI product, you promote uh, the features, their benefits for to health and all that, and try to sell it on an e-commerce platform, because on e-commerce you will get the better price rather than B2B, because these are very unique product which is originated from India. And if you need any help, maybe I can connect you with some consultants who are basically dealing into the GI products also to get some more details. So Apeda website, it is something we have nothing to do with that and that. They are asking about
Absolutely.
goat and sheep buyers. So maybe you can write to email to the Apeda for this updation.
Uh, Next question, Kuna Rajesh, do you have a video? Yes, it is there. And because adding video is little technical, I'll not say it is very technical, little technical. So, Rajesh, I'll request if you can drop me an email. Uh, Probably on Monday or Tuesday, I can have someone from my team connect with you and they'll guide you with the step-by-step process. So obviously, I will share the video, but in case you need assistance, we have a team that can also guide you with the process. Next question is from Sandeep Nair. Yes, Sandeep, we can do that. I am sharing with you my email ID. Drop me an email and I'll get you connected.